I had a dream about Trump. And what was that dream, dare you ask? Alright, so basically, I'm sitting at my desk here in my room, and I'm drawing a Christmas card. And on the inside, I drew a portrait of Trump, like you do. I mean, that it's classic Christmas tradition to draw your Trump card in March. So, anyway, the real Trump comes in, just waltzes into my bedroom, and he looks at this card I drew, and he's just like, that's good. That's good stuff. Putting that right on the wall in the Oval Office, right between all my golden me statues. So then I go to get my other Christmas card with a picture of Trump in it. Again, that you gotta have two. You can't just have one Trump card, all right? So I go to get the other one, and then I get woken up before I can show it to him. So I never get to find out if he liked that one, if it was up to his standards. I mean, it had a picture of him in it, so I'm guessing he probably would have liked it. So, and that's not the only Trump dream I've ever had. I had one a couple of months ago where I had a pet rabbit years ago, and in this dream, I'm playing with the rabbit at my grandparents' house, and then Trump he just waltzes into my grandparents' house, and he's just like, "Sup, fellas? How's it going? How's it hanging? See, that's some chowder you're making over there. How's that doing?" And then so like he takes the rabbit that I'm like my rabbit and he goes into my car in the driveway, my fucking Impala, because that's what Trump would do, all right? Because he would definitely drive an Impala and not rather be boiled alive than drive a peasant car like that. But anyway, he gets into my car with my rabbit and he like drives off. And in the dream, I'm just thinking, glad we got that settled. Glad that's all taken care of. So I've had two Trump dreams so far. I think I'm one more Trump dream away from enlightenment or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm losing it. If I have weird dreams though, I tend to remember them. Not always. If they have Trump in them, just right away, permanent memory. But really getting the PTSD in there, the Trump PTSD. Anyway, so the first dream I ever had that I remember, I'm in the basement of my old house and I'm walking, just it's empty except for these two amplifiers on the sides, and I'm just walking forward, but it's like a weird perspective, like the GoPro perspective, except they didn't have GoPros back then. But anyway, and it's like up a slope, but it's not actually a slope, and that's the whole dream. So the other dream, one of the early ones I remember, I was also in a basement because after they harvested me from the laboratory and brought me back to the dungeons, and I was kept in the basement for the first 300 years of my existence. That's all I could see. So, you know, I'm in the dream in the basement. All these stuffed animals are, just chilling, shooting the shit, doing whatever it is they do. And one of them off to the side is in a bathtub, like you do, just out in the open there, or no shame at all. But and he's draining the water out while he's in it, and he gets pulled down the drain, but like he's turning into a liquid as he's going down the drain. And I was never afraid of drains as a kid, so I guess I'm just that much of a man. I'm just that much of a Chad like that, as all the youths would say. Um, Allegedly, I had a dream where I was getting chased by Frosty the Snowman. I don't remember that one. I think I'm gonna call bullshit on that one, but they insist. My parents insist on that. But anyway, so sometimes I only get fragments of dreams, like one where I was in like a barren wasteland, and there was like a very vivid image of this wasteland with like a round one of those round pull behind trailers, and some soldier guy was in it. Um, and that's all I can remember from that. Must not have been that thrilling, I guess. Trump wasn't in it because that was like a decade before he got into politics, so I guess nobody cared at that point. But um, so I had another one sometime later, and this one's a little weird because in the dream I go the basement again. I don't know why I had so many basement dreams, but this time I go into the basement, and it's the actual house basement, not like a creepy dungeon. And in the basement, there are these two grasshoppers, and they're big ones, like 2 feet maybe. And one of them's orange and covered in spikes, and the other one's just green. And that was the whole dream. They're just like sitting there and they didn't do anything. But I had like a panic attack when I woke up, and then ended up with a fear of grasshoppers for like a decade, which is really dumb because grasshoppers are like one of the insects that don't hurt you. So I don't know what the deal was there, but yeah. Or like about a few months ago, 6 months ago, I had another dream where so I'm in the house, the old house, not the one, not this house, the one I grew up in, and there's this woman outside who keeps trying to get in, but like in the dream state, I know she's not real, or she's real, but she's like a ghost or some shit. I don't know. But anyway, so this woman is trying to get in. So my brother and dad get back to the house from wherever they were, and I'm trying to show them that this woman's there, but they can't see her. So I get out my old DS that I had and turn on the camera to that because I guess you can see ghosts through camera. I guess that's part of the lore there. And so I show them the backyard where this woman is, where the patio was. And as soon as I look through the camera, all these like dozens of people are just back there, just like standing there staring like they're completely frozen with these smiles on their faces. And it's not like creepy pasta, like exaggerated smiles going like Joker smile or anything. It's just like almost like that creepy EDP smile, uh, the one that became a meme among other ones, kind of like that. But and then I go back into the house because the other two are freaking the fuck out because there's a bunch of random people in the backyard. So I go to the basement door, the basement, again, the basement. This room is in a basement, by the way. I got something with basements, I guess. I'm destined to be a basement dwelling incel. I don't know. But anyway, but the point is, I turn back to the basement in the dream, and more of these guys are climbing up out of the basement, but again, like they're frozen in place. And there's this like musical tune, which I got in my head, but I can't really express it. And so I wake up in the like just I wake up from this dream after that, and I'm like freaking out for a second there. But it's kind of one of those dreams where like an hour later you think back on it and you're like, yeah, that was really stupid. Not that scary. So they're not all bad dreams though. I had one, my favorite dream, mind you. So in this one, there's this guy who's like a doctor, a private doctor, and he gets all these patients in with all these diseases like, cancer and all this stuff. And he takes them through an elevator down into this, I'm not going to say basement because it's like a void, but it's full of these like red blood cell looking things, and they're all like attached to each other by this like web. And in the middle of it, there's this like red dome thing. And he takes the people over a bridge into this dome thing, and there's a woman in there who's attached to the thing. Like there's a tube, not like a plastic tube, but it's like uh, I don't know, like a flesh tube coming out of her back and going into the whatever this chamber is, the red blood cell things, because she's attached to it. and she heals these people. At some point, she traps this doctor in there with her. And so the doctor decides to call on me because I'm the most qualified person to handle that situation, as you can tell. I mean, clearly. So I go to this person's basement, the void. I go to this person's void, and so I try to break into this place. And Shrek is there, by the way. Shrek is with me. That's important to the lore, to the background of this. So we get there, and the entrance to this center thing is blocked off. But uh, my good friend Shrek, my old pal, my comrade, breaks through this entrance with his raw, with the might of Zeus, the raw power of Sir Shrek. I'm not even sure if that meme is still a thing anymore. I'm out of date on the internet here. But anyway, we get in there, and I'm not exactly sure what happens after that. I guess we talk to the woman, and then this woman and the doctor get married, I think. But that'd be weird because the woman is like 30 and the doctor's in his like 70s. So we'll just say they became good friends in the end. That's what I'm going to go with. Maybe it was his daughter or something. I don't know. It's almost like fantasy world building kind of stuff, though, right there. Like, that could be an actual story. Minus the Shrek, because I think I'd get sued for copyright. But, um, yeah. But the weird one, though, probably the weirdest one I've ever had. It's not necessarily it's weird, but so this was happened. I had this dream when I was like 10, and there's this guy, me and these other people where it's like a rebellion. So we're armed and we're going up to this house. So we cross a pond into this backyard, and it's like a suburban backyard. So the grass is trimmed and there's lawn ornaments and lights and stuff. And so we go up to assault this. It's like a pretty big house too, like not quite mansion, but a sizable house. And so we get in there and we get into like a firefight with these people and, action movie kind of stuff. And it ends with me getting into a study. And then I turn into this hallway, which is a dead end. And one of the other rebels I'm with goes into this hallway. And so we're like crouched back there, just, waiting. And the dream ends. Now, the weird part is, so keep in mind, I had this dream when I was like 10, so it's a good 16 years ago or so. And in the neighborhood next to mine, there is, I shit you not, that exact house from that dream, which is right there. And this house, like, these neighborhoods were built up like uh after they recovered from the housing market crash. So it's like um 7 or 8 years old at most. So this house was probably built in like 2017 or 18, somewhere around there. So after I had that dream, and that was just like the first time I saw that house, I was riding my bike down the street a couple of years ago, and I saw this house there, and I'm just like, and it's got a pond behind it too, just to add to it. So I don't know if that dream was a prophecy or not. I hope not. I hope, again, I'm just trying to live it out here. I hope it's not a prophecy. Like, that's a combination prophecy with all the other dreams. Like, it's a continuous story. Like, there's a war and a rebellion, and that turns into the wasteland with like the trailer in the background and that one guy. And then at some point, I go from the trailer, and there's like a bunker right in this storyline that I'm crafting here in this epic saga. And I go into this basement, and in the basement I go like up that room and into the stuffed animal chamber, and the guy gets pulled down the drain and all that. And then from there I get into another entrance into this like void underneath the doctor's house where that one woman is. And Trump is there. He's just there. I guess somehow he fits into all this somehow. I don't know. He's the guy who got married to that woman in the dream. The one woman with the blood cells. See that it's all coming together now. It's all coming together now. I'm not crazy. I'm a perfectly sane person who doesn't have too much time on his hands and thinks about basements a little too much. I had a lot more dreams other than that, but I'm tired. It's like 11:30, so that's it.